Islam does not hate the West. It rejects hegemony, injustice, and interference. It has become almost commonplace in certain media and political discourses to claim that Islam harbors a particular hatred toward the United States and, more broadly, toward the West. This idea, repeated to the point of weariness, is not only false, it is intellectually dishonest. It rests on a deliberate confusion between religion, peoples, and power politics. Islam, as a religion, conducts no foreign policy, bombs no country, and signs no military treaty. It possesses neither an army, nor a fleet, nor bases abroad. To claim that it hates a region of the world therefore amounts to a fundamental misunderstanding. A religion does not hate. It is human beings who react to concrete realities. The foundational texts of Islam are clear. They teach neither hatred of peoples nor rejection of civilizations. On the contrary, they establish principles of justice, human dignity, and coexistence. Hostility toward populations on the basis of their cultural or religious affiliation is explicitly condemned therein. Islam does not fight the West as such, any more than it fights the East or any other civilization. What many Muslims reject today is not the American, the European, or the Westerner, but specific foreign policies conducted in the name of power, domination, and strategic interest. This rejection is political, historical, and rational. It is neither theological nor civilizational. For the facts are there, stubbornly so. The Muslim world has been, for decades, the theater of repeated military interventions, devastating wars, and regime changes imposed from the outside, leaving behind destroyed states, fractured societies, and millions of victims. Added to this is the constant support for authoritarian regimes when they serve geopolitical interests, as well as the selective application of international law, notably when certain violations are tolerated or even justified. It is this systemic injustice, this permanent double standard, that fuels anger and resentment, not a supposed religious hatred of the West. Muslims do not reject the universal values often claimed by the West. They denounce the fact that these values are proclaimed with one hand and violated with the other. To this external injustice is added another, more insidious violence: stigmatization. The constant conflation of Islam with terrorism, generalized suspicion, and Islamophobic discourses legitimized in the name of security or national identity. This diffuse hostility does not lead to hatred of the West, but to a feeling of humiliation and rejection, profoundly human. Contrary to a widely maintained idea, Muslims are not engaged in a project of expansion or global domination. They seek neither to conquer the West, nor to impose their religion, nor to reshape the societies that host them. This fantasy of invasion or Islamic expansion is a political myth, useful for masking the real power relations. The reality is far simpler and far more sober. Muslims want to be left alone, that their countries stop being bombed, that political choices stop being imposed from the outside, that dictatorships stop being supported in the name of stability, and that they stop being collectively treated as a threat. They claim the elementary right to sovereignty, dignity, and security, nothing more, nothing less. Even when they migrate to the West, it is not out of a spirit of conquest, but out of necessity, to flee wars, economic crises, or destroyed states, often the direct consequences of international policies they never chose. They do not come to transform the West, they seek to live there in peace. Ultimately, asserting that Islam hates the United States or the West is an ideological simplification that serves to obscure real political responsibilities. The problem is not a clash of civilizations, but an imbalance of global power exercised without justice and without accountability. Islam does not fight the West. Muslims do not hate peoples. What is being contested are hegemonic, interventionist, and unjust policies. And as long as this distinction is not clearly made, the debate will remain trapped in slogans, instead of addressing the true causes of the malaise.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Thank you and see you soon.